know that we could be more than just friends, but you're scared. Boy, I know that we could be more than just friends, but you're scared. Boy, I know that we could be more than just friends, but you're scared. Boy, I know that we could be more than just friends, but you're scared. Boy, I know that we could be more than just friends, but you're scared.
Yo, what's up, Predheads?
Yo, what is up, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy.
Happy.
Oh boy. This has been a crazy week. And
Oh,
to top
yeah.
it off, did you hear about Alec Baldwin?
No. Oh, actually, yeah, I did some crazy story.
I do just want to say, I know that I know Tommy is having a live right now. I think that they're waiting to get him. And then also PCI or PCM.
They had one.
They're either at the end of one. So
Yeah, they finished up.
yeah, so if you guys got a dip, that's completely fine. We totally get it. Our lives always stay up, and we'd rather you guys be there for the lives because there's nothing better than being at a live. But yeah, going back, Alec Baldwin accidentally shot one of his stunt doubles or something.
Yeah, dude,
so
crazy.
Like I don't even.
And it
know
was
how-
like on a Western shoot at like an old creepy church, like just
Right.
super sketch.
It's really crazy. I actually feel really bad for him because I think that like his son died or his brother. I don't know. I should probably get my facts straight, but I just read about that and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's
Really
crazy.
bad.
Crazy week.
Really, really bad. Who do we have in chat?
Oh man, the chat's moving. It's we got, let's see, Only One, Starkly, RNM, Kush,
Wow.
Jen
my
A.
goodness.
Salt and Cheese, Bill.
We appreciate all of the love and the support. This week has been insane. One of the craziest weeks that I have had on YouTube, but I do believe that we can all conquer and move on because we all have the same mission, which is to expose pedophiles. So let's
Yes.
keep on that mission, and we're going to bring you some crazy news today. So let's get ready for the weekend and go into it.
Let's do it. Let's see who hit that milestone. The first one we got is coming from PP Toronto.
PP Toronto.
Shout out to PP Toronto. He's at 19,000 on his channel. This isn't his main channel that has I think like 100.
I don't know, but there was a couple weeks ago that he
150.
actually got in one of our lives, and I kind of had a fangirl moment. I don't know why, but I thought it was super cool because you don't really see him on a lot of the lives, so I thought that was super
Yeah,
tight.
you really don't.
But definitely love PP Toronto.
So shout out to Matt over there, PP Toronto. The next one we got here is coming from Colorado Ped Patrol. He hit 48,000,
Dang.
and I think last time he was at what, like 46.
Yeah, he's growing, and I genuinely, fully, to the bottom of my heart, I am so happy for him. I am really happy for you guys are going to see some really big milestones today, and I'm just beyond proud of all of them.
Yeah, there's some good ones here. The next one we got here is coming from DAP Inc. I said that he was going to probably hit 100K by next week, and it's shaping up to look that way.
Almost at 100, so he's about to get his plaque.
Yeah, he's about to get that plaque, so shout out to DAP Inc.
We're going to be covering one of his catches.
Yeah, and I saw on his Instagram, I know we broke that story to everyone last episode where there was like a smear campaign against DAP. That writer from Mike.com just tried to absolutely tear him to shreds. And they weren't too happy about it, I'll say that.
They were not happy.
But congrats on that. We're looking for that 100K coming soon. And then the next one we got here, this is kind of rare.
This is super rare. Very, very rare. I think that this is a first on PNN history, but we have somebody that hit 3 major milestones on every single channel.
Yeah, so that's Alex with Gordon Flowers channel at 8,000, your boy JDQ at 20K, and PP Official at 161.
Incredible. I tell you, that man literally can start any channel and just grow it. His catches are absolutely phenomenal, and we're going to be covering some really major exciting news from him today.
Yes, and some crazy news. The next one we got, the last one, is CC Unit with 126,000. So shout out to everyone for hitting those milestones this week.
Nice.
Last couple days. Next thing we want to say here is we did talk about our website, but I just wanted to touch back on it. It's predatornewsnow.com. We do have our YouTube linked at the website as well as our Discord. So if you want to join those and you want to help out behind the scenes, submit us some stories, some news stories you want us to cover, topics to go over, join our Discord. We have a cool little community there.
And even if you want us to cover something that's a little off topic, maybe you're going through hell with like your relationship, you want some advice, or literally anything off topic, let us know, because we will cover that on one of our weekends episodes for Off Record. That's the new off PNN. So if you guys have any things that you want us to talk about, bring it up and we will cover it.
And I did want to say that all of the episodes that we post can also be found here on the website. So if you want to go watch them there, you can as well. The next thing here is KOOPA High. I know that you guys have heard his music before. He's super cool with the community. He loves the community so much that he's offering any music that he makes for creators copyright free. So you won't get striked using his music, and they're honestly pretty dope.
And that's honestly really, really big in this community. When I first got our YouTube channel, I always heard that you could show any music as long as you only showed like 15 or 30 seconds. Well, let me tell you what, that is not the case, because we got contacted. So he is so awesome. He was our intro music for like the first 15 episodes. And he also made our PNN logo, one of them. And he's also, I think, made a logo for PvP. So he's definitely willing to help. Whatever you need, hit him up. He needs more subs for sure.
Definitely show KOOPA High some love. And we'll link his channel at the end of the episode once we put all the links down below. CC Unit also, I was talking to him. He doesn't have anything recent, any catches, but he did say that, you know, we talked about how he's trying to expose all of his older catches, and that's really his main goal right now. And I think he's actually identified a few from the community, like not from the community, but with the help of the community. But for instance, this one here, this was catch number 4 3 years ago in 2018. So yeah, it's just kind of a cool thing for the community if you want to, if you like some investigation type work, you know.
Yeah, you know what I love about this is like a lot of these catchers, when they're brand new, they don't have the push to get the exposure that they're so deserving of.
Right.
And it's even worse when they don't get their driver's license or any of that. So the fact that these guys can be exposed like 2 years later is incredible.
Yeah.
And we covered on our last episode how some predator that was exposed by PP Mass literally moved to Maryland, changed his whole name,
right,
changed everything about him. His hair grew a beard, and he's going on this new persona. Well, I have contacted his work, so hopefully he will be exposed really soon.
Good job on that.
Thank you.
And then we had a couple arrests last couple days coming in from Alex.
Alex killed it.
He this was the Alabama Pred. I think this was on Wednesday during our live. He was still there. And this is the clip from the arrest.
Fingers like brain. Interlace fingers like brain. Count together.
Just all up in there.
Yes. Yeah, so
good camera work.
All 3 of his arrests this last weekend they all ended in arrests, and they were all super successful.
God, dude.
Oh my God, dude. So yeah, we're really happy for him. They
Yeah.
obviously are disgusting. This guy, I honestly was a little sure if he was going to get arrested because I had watched Steph Decoy's calls or the text message review, whatever. And I believe that she had started talking to this guy that day, maybe even a couple hours beforehand.
Yeah.
And she explained that like right as Alex was going to meet her, right before he was going to meet, she needed to get some kind of thing that would put this guy in jail. So that's when she said, what are we going to do? And then he totally put himself in behind bars. But I'm happy that he got an arrest.
Yeah, and then he was on a live today in South Carolina, and he almost like was being threatened to be arrested because he was on private property, and the security guard was like, "Yo, like I don't like pedophiles, but you can't be here." And so they kind of chased him off of the lot, but everyone was thinking maybe he was going to get arrested. Everyone was saying in the chats they're looking for him, this and that, but I think they made it safe out of South Carolina.
And we're going to be covering a major topic a little bit later on this episode, kind of going side by side with that.
Mm-hmm. And then also with Alex, we wanted to cover his merch. If you do want to go support PredatorPoacherOfficial.com, they have all the merch there.
I actually saw one of his shirts. I'm trying to scroll down. I think it says like, "Are you perfect?" or something like that. I really want to buy that. I love that. I love when catchers get a shirt that like has a funny, not funny, but just like a dope logo or whatever. So I liked it. Definitely go check it out. He has a lot of different ones.
Are You Perfect T right here.
Yeah, I really like that.
The next update we have here is coming from CP catcher Sam. Poor Sam.
Sam.
Laid up in a hospital, it looks like. He's been in there for a long time.
Is what happened, if you guys remember, Sam, he broke his ankle like really, really bad. So he went home, and I think that they just scheduled the surgery 2 weeks ago, but he's been in the hospital. He had the surgery a week ago. He's been in there on antibiotics. They've been checking on him. So hopefully this is the road to recovery, and this is kind of the start of the new beginning. But that food looks freaking awful.
I know. I was saying that food is terrible looking.
But at least he's got Canada Dry. I live off Canada Dry.
Only in Canada, right?
But definitely send your love to him. Being in a hospital just in general is so shitty. So let alone for a week, it's like, I hope they have Wi-Fi.
So yeah, send some love over to Sam. And then the next thing, CPP, he had a catch. He has a catch right now, actually. So if you guys want to go check that out, he hit a huge milestone over the last day. I think it was yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
3,400 people in his live.
I don't want to say it because I know that people are going to drag me in the comments and be like, no, that's false. But that's honestly the most that I have ever seen at one time in a live.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe CC Unit has been up in that area. I know that he generally gets 2,000 plus, but that is definitely a record breaking. And you guys, that live, it was great, but it ended just really, really unfortunate and horrible.
Yeah, we don't have the video, but apparently the number was, I think his number was Docs the Preds, and someone called and said, they're recording you, it's being live streamed, don't talk, don't say anything. And the cops showed up, and they were just like, they told the guy, hey, close your hotel room door. And the guy had a whole bunch of drugs, a knife, and it was just like, what?
Here's the thing. Tommy, he had his decoy Celeste, who kind of took a little break. She came back. I always love when Celeste is in the picture because she's an in-house decoy that can be on spot. So it's a lot easier to get a pred to walk up when he sees like a young-looking girl. So this guy, he was in the military. His life spiraled, which is really, really sad. And he was inviting a 13-year-old to his Motel 6, and he had a huge knife. He had a bunch of drugs. He had like a crack pipe or heroin. I don't know. But he had it laying all out there, and nobody doxed his information. He said it out loud on the camera, which is unfortunate. And then the internet will do what it will after that. But yeah, his phone was ringing off the hook. And so the cops came and they pretty much were like, yeah, bro, like shut your door. You don't have to put up with this guy filming you. And they drove off.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how all Denver has always kind of interacted. Denver just is really not for.
Yeah, and I saw this post. Everybody needs to email and call Denver PD and the news stations about this to let them know that there's a predator. And I think he was like ex-military, maybe.
He was. And the craziest part is for me is that I can understand Denver saying, okay, well, I don't want you doing this search for pedophiles, whatever. But he literally had a whole thing of drugs, like an 8-ball on the table, like a huge knife. He was going to invite a little girl in, and they just did not care. But he did reach out to the VA, which is like the Veterans Assistance. And I think he's going to try. He did call a family member. So I am hoping the best for that situation. But it was definitely a big letdown. A big letdown for the Denver police.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And then the last thing here with CPP was he's going to be airing on a radio station tonight. But I looked the radio station. It's on the Mock and Rob show. And they actually have the interview already posted. I think it's just one of those things they pre-record and get it ready to show on the show maybe. But I wanted to play a little clip. It's a big radio station in Indianapolis.
On the combo.
Show. We go to the drivehubler.com.
Okay, wait, let's.
Joined by a guy that
there we
I've
go.
really become a big fan of over the past year. His name is Tommy Fellows. He's founded a group called Colorado Ped Patrol, and they catch online child predators across the United States of America. This is a huge issue. You may remember something similar from the days of To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen on NBC, but it's a bigger problem than ever. And Tommy joins us now. Tommy, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, man, appreciate you having me here.
Yeah, so tell us how you got into this, because this is like your full-time job now. How did catching sick weirdos on the internet become a full-time job?
Okay, so that was your guys' little teaser.
A teaser.
So we are going to link Give Us an Hour. I always say I need to create merch that says Give Us an Hour and link will be in the bio.
Yeah.
But Give Us an Hour and we will link that. Please go listen to it so you can get Tommy's full story and his mission. And I give so much props to this radio station.
Right, exactly.
I think we should be doing this more because let's be real. A lot of people may not watch the news, but everyone listens to Sirius XM or, their podcasts. So I absolutely love this. Kudos to Indianapolis, you said?
Yeah, Mock and Rob show.
Awesome.
Yeah, shout out to them. The other thing here in the news, there's a podcast called Damn Near Canceled, and it's just like a funny podcast. They kind of cover a lot of random topics.
I was listening the other day, and they're just super lighthearted, really funny
Yeah.
guys. And they taught me that there are over 1,700 different types of apples. Like,
Yeah,
what?
like, who knew?
Like, who knew? So they just talk about really random stuff, but go for it.
Yeah, well, they looked into PNN, and they're good friends of ours. And they listened to one of our episodes, and they kind of fell down this rabbit hole, I guess, of pred catching. And it was kind of funny just to get their take because
An outsider who has never seen this before.
Yeah, so they have a podcast. They drop it every week, and I just wanted to give them a shout out. If you're into podcasts and you like to listen to podcasts and you want something funny to listen to, go check them out. Damn Near Canceled podcast. It's available on Spotify, Apple, all the platforms. But I wanted to play a little clip here.
And and so that's why PNN has so much fucking content to give, because unfortunately there's all these goddamn predators out there, man.
Bro, so let me tell you some of the things that I noticed after watching, like, no joke, like 100 of these videos in the last couple days. One thing, what do you think the pedophiles' main excuse, or like, what do you think they say when they're caught? Like, what do you think would be the most common thing for them to say, would you guess?
Okay, so I would say they're probably like, they just met up to play video games.
Okay, you're not far off. So
Okay.
I'm telling you, bro, like 50% of these dudes, you know what they say?
What?
I was just trying to meet up with her or him, the 13, 14, 12-year-old boy or girl that they think they're meeting. I was just trying to meet up with them to tell them that it's dangerous what they're doing.
That was what I was going to say next.
So
Anyways, yeah. So they did a little review of our channel, and again, I only really ever talk to people that are in this community, that have been following this community and know all of these catchers' missions. So it was really kind of cool to hear an outsider's point of view who knows nothing about, had no idea that there are guys out there doing it, and women. But it was super cool. Definitely go check them out. We'll link it below. And honestly, I listened to it today. After everything that's going on, it really brought a smile to my face for like the first time. So if you need a little break, go check out Damn Near Canceled.
And then I wanted to circle back. Actually, there was an update that was given to us a little while ago. Colorado Ped Patrol, the pilot pred that just happened. He was actually let go, I guess, and rebooked with 3 new charges with a $500,000 bond.
$500.
$500,000.
Oh my God! I'm
not
sorry.
500.
Okay, so your bond's gonna be $5. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Tommy and Alex, I mean, all of them, they're killing it, but it is just so refreshing to see all these law enforcements all over in these random ass cities arresting these guys and actually not just arresting them and letting them go, but actually following through. So super, super dope.
And that brings us to an important thing we wanted to talk about. So when Alex had that catch, I think it was a couple nights ago, apparently someone called the police and said that there was a shooting. Did you hear about this?
I did.
Yeah, so someone called the police, said there was a shooting, and the cops showed up. And I was listening to Envy Cap's take on this, and he's right. You know, when a cop gets a call that there's a shooting, they're going to respond accordingly.
All hands on deck.
Exactly. They're going to come, thinking that this could be their last time on the job.
Right.
That's how they have to think. So
here's another thing I want to add. So before Cup and I came into this community, and we dabbled in the predator catching community, but we weren't immersified in it like we are now. Before this community, we weren't as deep into it, but we were really into IRL streamers. So you guys see in Tommy's, and I've even seen a little bit in PvP's channel, IP2. So IP2, Ice Poseidon, he basically is like the founding father of all IRL streaming. And he basically he was on YouTube. He left YouTube and he got on Twitch, which is, everyone knows Twitch. And on there, he actually got kicked off because of trolls swatting him.
Yeah.
So swatting is basically what you just explained.
Pretty much. So I wanted to play a clip. And this is Ice Poseidon. He got swatted on a plane.
We broke the news. Phoenix police searching an American Airlines plane at Sky Harbor. Police say an anonymous threat was called in. That threat wound up being not credible.
Passengers on that American Airlines flight from Los Angeles say that after they landed here, the pilot simply told them, "Our gate's not ready." He parked and said, "Everyone put your shades down." Well, when someone peeked out of the shade, this is what they saw. Police surrounding the plane, and then police ended up boarding that plane. Passengers say that 2 people were removed, a man and a woman. Another passenger who was sitting very close to those 2 who were removed said this.
It was a little nerve-wracking, especially when you...
So basically what had happened was he was IRL streaming inside of the airport, and he said what terminal he was at. And of course, there's always someone who wants to ruin
There's
it
always
for
millions. We see it everywhere. And we just, honestly, in this community, I am absolutely shocked that we have not seen more of this.
Right.
And I'm really happy, and I hope that this doesn't trigger some trolls to do it. But even today during CPP stream, people were saying, "Oh, you doxed your location."
You doxed, yeah.
And the thing is that this is not just IRL streaming. This is like people that are going to catch pedophiles, and they ended up unloading this entire plane like a whole SWAT team.
Because someone had called in saying that he had a bomb. So that, that brought the whole SWAT team out to clear the plane to make sure there was no bomb. And this isn't the only time that he's been
No.
swatted. I mean, it's happened countless.
He was swatted in his house while live streaming on Twitch. A bunch of SWAT teams literally barged in with huge guns, and you can look it up.
Yeah.
Swatting is such a big thing in the IRL, and it's sad, but
Toxic.
people, they block their VPN. They still don't know who did it. And it's a bad thing.
I mean, the police are now, investigating swatting a lot more. And we just saw a guy who was swatted in, I forget where, but he was playing his video games. He got swatted. He was killed by the police, and they found the guy who swatted him. And I guess he'd been swatting a whole bunch of people. So even though you might hide your number, spoof your number, whatever, have a VPN, they're going to find you eventually.
Or really quick before we move on, the other really sad one that happened was someone swatted Ice Poseidon, and someone gave him the wrong address. So the police showed up to the address that they thought was this guy, and it ended up being a father of like a 5-year-old, and they killed him immediately upon opening the door.
I think that wasn't Ice Poseidon though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It was another IRL
But that's the
streamer.
one he wasn't even the target for the SWAT, and they showed up and they ended up killing the guy. So this is what Ice Poseidon had to say to the news.
Like, this is, you'll see it. It's just a bunch of bullshit, dude.
So what do you say to those other passengers who you had this prank pulled on you, but they were innocent victims in this?
I mean, I just feel really bad for everybody involved, because it's like the troll was trying to just affect me, but he ended up affecting every single person on the plane. And I just can't help but feel really bad for all those people. You know what I mean? Because it means I was there. And
so basically what I want to get at is, if you want to try to ruin a catch by trolling and calling and saying that there's a shooting going on, just know that you're putting a lot of people's lives at risk. This is nothing to joke about. And I've said it before, but if you are going to be calling the police, don't let everyone in stream know to call the police.
Right.
Talk
Have
to
a
someone,
trusted mod.
Yeah, talk to someone prior to the catch. Say, this is where I'm going to be. Here's, the information. Call the number. That way there is no, there's no way that this could happen, because the situation with Alex could have turned deadly very quick.
Really quick. I think it's not being taken seriously as it should be, and it actually really upset me. And I do know that there are going to be people that say, well, people recognize buildings, or Tommy yesterday, people recognize the motel. Well, I really highly recommend to the catchers to film the ground until you're in a space that either has just a wall or no identifying buildings.
Landmarks.
Right. Just film the ground until you are in a safe place. But yeah, we're happy that did not go bad. And we definitely just wanted to highlight it on our show, because it is it could be deadly.
Yeah. And just to show you that the Congress actually had a bill, the Anti-Swatting Act of 2018, to provide enhanced penalties for the transmission or misleading, inaccurate caller identification information with intent to trigger an emergency response. So just keep that in mind if you want to troll. I mean, they're cracking down on this, especially in the day of all the streaming,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that's our 2 cents on that. That pretty much wraps it up for all of the community news. We will move now into the national news.
Let's get it.
Let's go. The first story we wanted to touch on, this is a sad story coming out of Australia. It isn't anything to do with child sexual abuse or anything, but we don't know for sure. It could actually turn into something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this girl, 4-year-old Cleo Smith, vanished from her campsite with her family, and she's been missing, I guess, for a week now. And I think the investigation has now turned from a missing person to perhaps maybe a murder. But she was abducted from apparently the tent that she was sleeping in.
Oh my God. It's so scary. It's so scary.
And I was reading, there's, I guess there's a lot of, weird things with the stories with everyone involved. So they can't I don't think they can really say
who knows,
for sure
maybe
who did it.
Maybe one of the parents did it, and they're saying,
Right.
"Oh no, she was taken out of her tent." Oh, That
This
little
poor
beautiful girl.
So yeah, this and this website here has a nice timeline of the whole situation.
We'll keep you guys updated. We do know that we do have some people that are overseas, and maybe one of you guys will recognize this little girl walking around with somebody, or maybe you know more information. I don't know, but even though it's not a pedophile, we definitely wanted to plaster this everywhere since it is a 4-year-old little girl.
Yeah, and there is a weird thing here. It says there was a 4-hour gap until the police were called, and I know it was like at 1:30 in the morning that this the girl woke up to get a drink of water. So, and then the mom woke up I think at 6 or something. So there was a gap there in time, but nonetheless, very sad story.
We'll definitely keep you guys updated on it if we get any new developments. Hopefully, all good developments.
Yeah.
We will keep you guys posted both in our Discord and on our next episode.
And then this is kind of off topic, but I just wanted to kind of share this. Is kind of cool. This Marine stops an armed robber at a gas station.
Whoa.
There's no sound, but watch. Come in with a gun.
Oh, whoa.
The Marine drops his keys instantly and just like grabs the gun and just
Wow.
tackles dude.
Wow. That's absolutely incredible.
So shout out to that guy for saving the day. The first story we got, though, is coming from the Reddit. Thank you to TX Bulldog. This is another teacher in San Antonio, a band teacher that is now facing sex crimes. He turned himself in. He was the band director at Poteet High School, turned himself into the jail, according to the county sheriff. And it says what I thought was interesting was that the Texas Ranger is the one who was doing the investigation. And we know that with Tommy's catch, Jacob,
yeah, it was the
Texas Ranger. Yeah. So at the request of the Poteet police, the Texas Ranger took this case and they looked into it. And this guy has turned himself in. But it's just kind of weird that another band teacher.
I know. I was going to say,
Texas.
dare I say another teacher? And every time I say that, I honestly feel bad because there's so many great teachers. I mean, my teachers kind of molded me to be the person that I am today. So there's so many incredible teachers, but there are also so many bad ones. And it's just scary to think that we are sending our children to a place that we believe is totally safe. And they're ended up being assaulted in classrooms or on lunch breaks. And they say, don't go home and tell mom and dad. So just definitely watch your child, how they act when they come home. Are they happy? Are they talkative? Or are they silent and going straight to their room?
Right.
Ask questions, keep that dialogue open.
The next story is also a school related, or actually, no, this is not. Where is it? Okay, we'll come back to it. But this one's actually, we talked about the Oklahoma, how they had kind of a window for people's victims to come forward.
Yes.
Well, Maine
it was a 2-year window, right? And then they did like a little bit of an extension.
Yep.
And again, that's for people that have been sexually assaulted or abused to come forward, because the average is that the person does not come forward until they're about 50 years old.
Right.
So some of these states are opening these
statute of limitations.
Yes. To basically allow these people to come forward and be protected, and some even get compensation.
Yeah, you can sue the abuser, but I wanted to play this clip because it's cool that Maine is now following suit.
For childhood sexual abuse, allowing all survivors to now pursue a civil case against their abusers, no matter how long it's been. Advocates say this is an important change, especially since many survivors don't come forward until much later in life.
My life today is great.
Speaking from his home in Florida, Bob Dupuy tells us he's happily retired, but it was a long, tough road to get there.
And I was sexually abused by a priest when I was 12 years old. And that was, I think, 1961 was the year.
The abuse happened in Old Town over a period of 6 months.
So basically, you know, I think that a lot of states should follow this trend in opening up and lifting these statutes of limitations for victims to come forward.
Yes.
Because I think, what was it? The average is 52 years that it takes for someone to open up.
I was just having a talk with my mom, and I I've been kind of in denial, and I've never wanted to put it on the internet. None of my close friends even know about it. It's kind of been just like a family secret. Cup didn't even know until a year into our relationship. But I'm going to do an episode with my mom, kind of telling my story.
Yes.
Cup won't be there, and it's not going to be live. It's because it's pretty bad. But it just reminds me of this, that I am now 27 years old, and I am just coming to the thought of, okay, maybe I can talk about it.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think there should be a time limit of when you feel comfortable to talk about it. And I think that's why the states should also be aware of that, because it is a hard topic to discuss.
Absolutely. So
take your
very
time.
Very happy that Maine is doing this.
Let's see here. Fresno woman, sick story. I'll just play this clip.
The sexual abuse of a 12-year-old girl whose mother was involved in a long-term love triangle relationship. Action News reporter Corin Hoggart shows us why the two defendants still holding out are facing much harsher punishment.
Okay, now let me just...
The first domino fell Wednesday in an unusual child sex crimes case.
The charge of violating Penal Code Section 273A, parens A. What is your plea? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Jillian Cox admitted to child abuse, and she'll be sentenced to 4 years of probation and 52 weeks of classes for child abusers. Prosecutors expect that to be the lightest punishment in the case.
She's been cooperating with our investigation, working with our detectives. She's also the least culpable.
Investigators say Brent Cox repeatedly sexually abused the 12-year-old daughter of the couple's live-in girlfriend, Tammy Schreiner. They say the plan was to make the girl his third wife.
Wow.
When the sex crimes started coming to light, Schreiner defended Brent Cox on Facebook, and detectives say she gave her daughter a throwaway cell phone and tried to coach her to lie about the abuse.
She essentially exposed her child to these horrendous acts. She has the duty as a mother to protect her child, and she failed miserably.
Prosecutor Andrew Jans is negotiating a deal with Schreiner, too, hoping to avoid forcing the girl to relive the abuse during a trial.
Right.
He wants Schreiner to register as a sex offender so she can't expose other children to abuse. Investigators say Brent Cox recorded video evidence of the crimes but tried to hide it. They found it at Tioga Sequoia, his workplace, along with firearms Cox is not allowed to have because of a prior conviction. Possession of child pornography is one of the 13 charges Brent Cox is now facing. Prosecutors are not offering him any deal, but his attorney Mark Capitan tells me they are negotiating a settlement. Schreiner and Brent Cox are due back in court next month when they could enter pleas. If they do, they'll get their punishment in January.
I just don't think that for the mom, 4 years probation is enough.
It makes me sick. Going back to just what I said, both a mother and a father are supposed to protect their children. And it is more so that a father will abuse their child. We know that women do it too. But if my mom would not have stepped in, all of my siblings and me, from literally a baby to me being 18, would have been sexually abused. So I give it to all the mothers that do step in, and I am heartbroken that this girl did not have a mother that did that, and it's not enough. I hope she rots in hell.
I agree. The next story, this is a study. It's pretty crazy, and it unfortunately makes sense, I guess. COVID-19 pandemic fueled the rise in child sexual abuse online.
Man, I really do not like getting political, but before anyone says, oh, vaccine, not vaccine, whatever, just think about the facts of it, that with the COVID vaccine or not vaccine, with the COVID pandemic, all of us were stuck at home. So, and kids couldn't go to school. So they were stuck at home with their parents, and some of the parents are awful. So
yeah, it says the report was a meta study that distills findings from multiple international studies on the issue. The findings show that in the past 2 years, the reporting of child sexual exploitation and online abuse has reached its highest level. COVID-19 created a perfect storm of conditions that fueled a rise in the child sexual exploitation and the abuse across the globe. It stated that this substantial growth is outstripping our global capacity to respond. Child sexual abuse remains a chronically underfunded issue, said the executive director of We Protect Global Alliance. The rise in the child self-generated sexual material is another trend that challenges the existing response, with the Internet Watch Foundation observing a 77% increase in child self-generated sexual material from 2019 to 2020. As part of the report of the global study of childhood experiences of more than 5,000 young adults aged 18 to 20 across 54 countries was done by the Economic Impact. About 54% of the respondents had experienced at least one online sexual harm incident during childhood. And it's just crazy that this now is becoming a bigger issue because of
people are
the pandemic.
People are forced to be stuck on their phones and forced to be stuck at home all of the time. And what are they exposed to? You watch all of your favorite shows. There's no new shows on. So you turn on your phone and you're immersified in that.
Right. And on being on your phone, the report also featured a survey of technology companies that showed most were using tools to detect child sexual abuse material, but only 37% currently use tools to detect online grooming, which I didn't even know they had technology to detect online grooming.
Why isn't it working? We see these catchers talking to these
Right. Like, what apps
pedophiles.
are they working on?
Yeah, no app has ever blocked them and said, oh, no. It's like I almost feel like they're saying that, but they're not actually doing it, because I personally see these apps making it to where they notify the person if a screenshot was taken, which makes it harder to catch a pedophile, because you can't use the evidence every 2 seconds taking screenshots. So if anything, I feel like they're lying and they're saying that they are detecting this stuff, but I don't think they are. I think it's about money.
Yeah, it says during the pandemic, the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children indicated a 106% increase in reports of suspected child sexual exploitation to its global cyber tip line. And yeah, that's just it's alarming.
So just a reminder, always, check over your kids. I know if you've been watching us or any of the other people, to check on your kid, but get them out of the house. Don't have them, sitting on their phones all day or whatever, take them to the park. Tell them, do you want to have your friends over? Get them really active. My best childhood was being outside and, so get them in a sport or something.
And then the next story, this is kind of local to us. Menlo Church investigation finds no sexual misconduct. So this was a church that had a pastor's son who was accused of some type of sexual abuse on a child. And the reason I wanted to bring this story up is because there's this nonprofit Zero Abuse Project that kind of headed the investigation into the allegations. And they did a crazy job. They combed through more than 500,000 pages of documents and records, as well as interviewing 104 people and over 94 hours of interview time. But they ended up basically saying that there was nothing wrong. They didn't see anything, but they outlined some and put some like recommendations down as like some guidelines, I guess, for the church. And they were pretty good. But I looked into the organization, and if you want to read the report, it's right here. We'll link that below. It has some really good information. But on their website, if you go to what is it? Zero abuse dot. Let me see.
Is it like a resource?
Yeah, so you can actually help in child abuse.
Okay, so we'll link. Should we link this in our Discord and under resources?
Yes, I want to link it, but I was just kind of messing around on the website looking for things. You can donate directly to the website. But if you're a catcher and you want to kind of maybe get some more information under your belt, they do offer like virtual training, which I thought was nice. So you can sign up for a training event. And one of them that I saw would be good would be adverse childhood experiences and comprehensive trauma informed, and then your first response to allegations of child abuse. And all the money that's raised from these kind of virtual events go towards the nonprofit. So you're doing, you're learning and you're contributing to stopping childhood exploitation.
You know what I think would kind of be cool? You know how we tell all of the catchers that they should all have like business cards with their names and everything?
Yes.
Well, what if on the back if they completed different things like this, they could put down the organization,
Right.
you know,
that they're trained in this.
They're trained in this, or they do something with ICAC, and they're, you know, like have a card that shows all of the things that you've done to perfect your catches, you know, so they take you that much more serious. You're not just some average
like you
Joe.
have an endorsement from
Right.
this nonprofit.
You're not just
something.
some average Joe that got on YouTube, saw that there's a bunch of people doing this, and you're like, oh, I want to get some clout. I'm going to just start a catching channel. And so I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of the, like even Justin Payne was saying he would like to get in front of schools and talk about this this problem. And if you're trying to go that route and you want to take it to the next level, I think definitely taking some of these classes would help with that and getting people to take you more serious as a part from just like a YouTuber.
Honestly, I feel like there's even catchers that they say that they want to do like different community services. I feel like they could probably reach out and partner with companies like this, and maybe maybe they teach the course or something.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know? So that's also an idea, because I know a lot of you have been in the game for multiple years. I know Arizona Predator Prevention, like they've been in it for a really long time. So people like that, I don't think that they necessarily need to learn, but maybe they can be the people that extend their hand to teach. But I know they're really busy, so I don't want to put that on them.
Right. Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And then the last story we got here, this is from Niagara, I believe, up in New York. But an imprisoned Niagara Falls child molester to have sentence doubled by new conviction. And this kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about, you know, the statute of limitations and delayed disclosure when someone discloses that they've been abused. Well, this guy was in serving a 10-year sentence, and then he admitted to like basically first degree sexual, like, you know, contact with a child. And so now he's facing another 10 years.
Wow.
Because they found out that it did happen. The kid, you know, responded, told the mom.
Wow. It's rare that someone that's in prison and say they only have 5 years left will say, yeah, I did that,
Right,
and then get another 10 years. Wow.
So I thought that was kind of cool, and it's never too late, you know?
Never too late.
And that pretty much wraps it up for our national news. Let's see what videos dropped. The first one we got here is coming from Richmond against Predators. This was a drop on his Facebook that was, I think, last night. And this guy was a total twack.
About 10 messages into you guys talking, she said, I'm really 15. I hope you're not mad, something along that lines. And you were like, oh, no, not a problem. I don't want to get in trouble.
No, I didn't say not a problem.
And you said I don't want to get in trouble, but then you proceeded, but why are we here? Why were you driving around the parking lot? Regardless, I don't care what you said. It's about what you did. You going to take accountability or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I want. I want you to take accountability. I want to make sure.
You got my word. You got my word.
Oh,
I don't trust your word.
So yeah, this guy's definitely on meth, I'd say.
100%.
You could just tell.
I absolutely love how Richmond against Predators, how they interview the people. Like, they don't just, I don't know, they don't fall short and like kind of like let the predator sway them. They're like, no, they call bullshit. Like, no.
No.
So I love that. And I also love that they're on Facebook. We were saying, we think every YouTuber, even if you don't use a lot of social media, you should be on Facebook, because it just gets out way further to people. The amount of shares and everything, it's so much easier to share on Facebook than it is on YouTube.
Right.
So why not get more exposure?
Yeah, I was going to show where he peeled off, but I can't find it. I think it was in the beginning. Yeah, he left and he was like, okay, you came back. But yeah, go check that out. We'll link that below. And I think he might be dropping this on YouTube as well. So we'll wait for that too. The next one that came out, this was kind of a controversial one. Predator Catchers PA.
Oh, yes.
And we had him on our show.
Yeah, and I really, really, really want everyone to be super supportive to Shafiq, because I know that this was a really controversial subject, and he really thought about this for months, really.
Yeah.
So this is the infamous catch that this guy ended up going and committing suicide later that night.
And he caught a lot of like different responses. A lot of people were saying don't drop it. A lot of people said yes, do drop it. But he decided to drop it, and it's just a crazy story.
I think that it's good. I think more people are just curious to see if they missed it, how this guy acted, and was he sorry, was he not? So I think it gives people a good understanding. So just be supportive of Shafiq.
I'm gonna pull up some more chat logs right now. Yes, I do have to, because this is not cool. Look, you sent a picture of your here too. That's not mine. How do you know that's mine?
Why are you sending it regardless?
How do you know it's not You said it was. How do you know it's mine?
So,
and you asked.
So she said she wasn't affiliated with the cops, and she said she wanted to be with.
But she was 15. It doesn't matter if she said she wanted to be with you. You asked the minor for nudes too. You committed multiple felonies.
I didn't ask her for nudes. I asked her for a picture. Back up.
You said, "Do you have a nice the picture of her hits?" I have the messages.
I didn't ask for bare.
So you can see this guy, he wasn't sorry for what he did. He wasn't like,
no remorse.
He wasn't like, man, I am so embarrassed. I got caught up in this. Like, what can I do? He wasn't like that. And here's the thing with suicide is everyone makes their own decision. Shafiq did call the police, I believe, on this one. And of course they didn't arrest him. So he went home and he made that decision. I send my love to this guy's family, but I don't feel bad for him.
Feel bad for Shafiq. The next one we got here was the infamous garage pred from CPP. Everyone seemed to like this over the weekend. Finally uploaded this one. Let's take a look.
We'd like to speak to you for a second, if that's okay.
You want to put speaker?
He's calling his wife.
Hello, Cassie? Is it Cassie? Hey, my name's Tommy. I'm with Colorado Ped Patrol. It's an online organization out of. I saw. You've seen it? I saw it. Okay, I'm here with your husband now, so and I guess if you've seen it, you already know what's going on. Okay. I just thought you had to know. I didn't know you were on, so I didn't know.
Someone sent it to me.
Okay.
Poor wife having to see this on live stream,
Yeah, this one really, speaking of, Tommy is like, I think in like the middle of his catch. So seriously, I do not care whatsoever if our views go down to 0. I really want you guys to go see that and come back. This is all like pre-recorded right now. So, well, it's not pre-recorded, but
it's not pre-recorded.
But seriously, do not at all feel obligated. Just come back.
Well, we need one mod here.
Just promise that you come back after Tommy's catch, but please go support him. Please, please, please. But getting back to this, so the wife was sent the live before Tommy even told her about it.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is someone actually posted in our Discord. So this guy was married. He had 2 kids. Someone posted in our Discord and was like, hey, is the mother the biological children of the 14-year-old and the 8-year-old? And I was like, I don't know. You should probably hit up Steph Decoy because she probably has that information. And I guess this girl is 28 years old, his wife. So she would have had to be like 13 or something.
Right.
I don't really know why I said that. I think it was just like some background story that I got.
Hey,
but
we like that.
Regardless, it was just really, really, really sad hearing her.
Yeah.
And I'm almost willing to bet that she's going to take him back because Tommy said, what do you think I should do? Should I get him help? And will you get him help? And she said, yes, I absolutely will. So I think she's going to take him back. It's sad. And he portrayed to be a freaking 17-year-old. Like, how demented are you?
And he was like a church guy,
He was a softball, and Tommy said that some random lady hit him up and said, oh my God, that is my daughter's softball coach.
Yeah.
And I had no idea about this. I stumbled across this video. So at least he was arrested. I don't know if he's still in jail, but at least everyone in the town, which is a small town, knows, and he's lost everything.
Yeah, good riddance to that guy.
He had no remorse.
The next one's coming from PP Official. This is Alex. This guy was caught for a second time.
You guys, this guy was caught 90 days ago. 3 months ago. I was like, this guy looks familiar. Plus, Alex's title kind of gives it away.
Understand? But I'm just letting you know. Hi, I'm new here. Hi, I'm Bailey. I'm 9. So she lets you know she's 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, nice meeting you. Where are you from in Pennsylvania? I said, I'm in Pennsylvania. You said, how do you know I'm in PA? I said, I'm in Pennsylvania on that. So y'all are both in Pennsylvania. You talked about fishing. You did want to teach her to fish.
I fish, yes.
Of course. She could teach you a thing or two about catfishing too. I mean, sorry, us maybe, but you're in the right section for that. Hi Bailey, how are you? How's school going? Miss talking to you. Have a good day. So you would still double text her a lot. You really were.
Yeah, this guy was a sicko. Says 90% of the reason he came was because he always wanted a daughter and wanted to talk to this girl like a dad.
Yeah, he just said he wanted to be a mentor, but he was caught before for talking to like a 15-year-old, and I think he was even like talking to a 9-year-old. Maybe this girl was supposed to be 9. I don't know.
And this was the cops that let him go in the front seat because they didn't have new cop cars or something. They didn't have the bars in the back.
And the funny thing is, Alex said something to him about like, where's your phone? And he was like, well, I'm using like a burner phone or something along those lines. And he was like, the detectives from the last time you caught me currently are holding my phone. So this guy literally
all around.
is just trash. The police did come. The police pretty much demanded Alex give him his phone back. They kicked him out of the store. They didn't kick him out, but they did. They said, you got to go. And Alex ended the stream. So I'm not sure if this guy got arrested.
I think he said he went and turned everything in, or he was going down to the police station following him. So
I guarantee within our next couple of episodes, we will say this guy has been arrested and convicted because this is his second time in 3 months. Like that's just, it's sickening.
The next one's coming from PP Mass. Creep tries to invite minor to his busted in front of neighbors. Yeah, the neighbors were not happy about this one.
Not happy.
Said we can do sex if you want to. If not, we can kiss.
Yeah, but if you want.
So why did you? So a 14-year-old can't give consent. They can't give consent to have sex. So listen, if I was the 14-year-old boy, if I was Joey, would I be going in your house right now? What would we be doing? What do we talk about?
If you don't want to do nothing.
But what did you say? What was the words that you said? What did you say? The words that you used.
So the neighbors, they go watch this. We'll link it below if you guys have not already seen it. But the neighbors, I picture this guy being a neighbor that's like pretty quiet, sticks to himself, maybe says hello. The neighbors walked by and they were like, hey, what are you doing? And he was like, hey, I'm exposing this guy. He's a pedophile. He's doing this, this, and this. And the neighbors flipped out on the pred. They were like, you'll get killed in this neighborhood doing that, or people in our neighborhood will kill you for that. Yeah, they were not. And at the end, the pred was... The PP Mass did not call the police, which it's okay not to do it every time. I'm sure he will turn it over to the police. But at the end, the guy was, I think, more nervous about his neighbors knowing that this had happened. He was like, I lost my neighbors. And PP Mass was like, yeah, you're probably going to lose your house too.
Right.
So sometimes exposure is
better.
I mean, I have faith that PP Mass will turn it over or, whatever. But at least he's exposed and his neighbors are pissed.
Speaking of piss, we had Alan here from PvP, number 63. He wanted this kid to come over and pee on him.
It was
And
bad.
I have your picture, right? You understand English, right?
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Okay, cool. You understand my English, right? So this isn't confusing, is it?
Oh, a little bit.
It is a little bit, right? Because you came out here to meet who?
Nobody.
Nobody. Why is it confusing then? What's confusing?
This situation is?
What's confusing? Don't put your mask on. I'll just call the cops, bro. What's confusing,
The
bud?
flashlight.
What's confusing?
The
You want to go in the light? Do you want me to get loud, or what do you want to do here? You want to get loud?
No.
You want to go in the...
So I don't want to give it away, but you guys have to go watch this. If you haven't checked out PvP yet, please go sub to him. He's been on a roll. He's been doing just catch after catch.
He's almost to 1,000.
He's almost to 1,000 subs, not catches.
No, no, not yet.
But with the rate that he's going, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the first one to hit 1,000. But this one is just, it's crazy. It's funny because of
Do you have the text
content.
messages from this spread?
I unfortunately do.
Okay, yeah,
he
show
said,
it.
okay, can I ask you something kinky? Did I mention I like piss? And then he said, you want to drink a ton of water before you go, like as much as possible?
You guys, do you like what?
I'm sorry, but what?
Like, I have heard of some kinky stuff, but like that's just like not one of them. That's
not at all.
One of them, like
no.
whatsoever. And yeah, I said it last episode, and I'll say it again. I've been listening and watching PvP's videos, and just his interrogation, his tone, how he asks questions, it's all improving. And I think it's really cool to find a channel when they're small and watch them evolve. So
100%.
Definitely go sub.
Yeah, he's definitely one to keep your eye on. That's People v Preds. There's a little confusion with the name, but it's People v Preds. We just call him PvP.
Yes.
He also had number 64. This was this guy wanted to get with a 15-year-old, and
this is all within the last 48 hours.
Right.
Hey, why did you message this kid 15 times while I was asleep? You literally messaged this kid like 13 times after I fell asleep. Can you come now? Can you come now? Come now. Come now. Can you come now? How many times did you tell that to the 15-year-old boy?
There wasn't no 15-year-old boy.
Right, there wasn't a 15-year-old boy,
Desperate.
but you thought you were talking to a 15-year-old boy. That's why you gave the kid your address, buddy.
No, I did not.
Then who'd you think you were talking to? Yes, ma'am. I'm at 69th and Elko.
So yeah, this one's a good catch too, and I want to say that he's starting to do a lot more catches during the day. And I think, a lot of us are up during the day. Mm-hmm. He's typically up at night.
I
so
know.
If you're
I always I feel so bad because I talk so highly of him on our show, but then he
You're
probably
never in the
never
lives.
sees me in the lives.
Right.
And it'll literally, one time Cup actually was his point person to call the police. And it was like 1 a.m. And I hear Cup.
2.
Yeah, I hear Cup on the phone like, hi, I would like to report it. And I'm like, bro, it's literally so late. But it's really cool that he's doing these catches during the day. Not all of them, but some of them. And again, if you want content, he's busting it out. And he's getting police involved a lot more routinely, and they're acting well with it.
Yeah. And he also had a catch today, number 65. It was also during the day. The guy was blaming PvP for tricking him, and it almost looked like they're going to fight. It was a pretty good catch. Expect that to be uploaded within the next day or so. The next thing's coming from DAP Inc. This is a Excuse Me Everybody podcast, and it's just a little, time to kind of see them off of the whole pred catching thing. But I thought this was a nice little thing that Jay was saying. I wanted to play it. It seemed fitting.
Okay. But today I ain't got much to say besides don't be stubborn. Don't be stubborn. Don't be stuck in your ways. I know a lot of times it's easy to have the same mindset. And life change, life goes on. You're going to realize that you're wrong in some aspects of life. You might have an opinion that you might bring up in front of some people, and they might say, nah, there's this and there's that too. And then you might go, there might be a second where you go, damn, I might be wrong. And you can choose to be stubborn, or you can choose to go, shit, I'm going to have to rethink things. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on my own. So don't be scared to do that. Don't be scared to step out of your comfort zone. That's how we get better as people, I've learned. And just don't be stubborn, man. Life goes on, and you're allowed to be a new person. You're allowed to try new things. You don't got to be stuck in your ways. You don't got to keep that same opinion, that same mindset that you had a year ago. So with that being said, man, evolve and be great. Y'all got this. Love y'all, Dat fam.
So I feel like if you got a voice inside of my head all of today, this is what it would be saying.
Right.
I kind of want to set this as my alarm clock sound just so I can hear that. But he is so right. The moment that you can do what he just said and accept what is, and even if someone is wrong, you don't need to go out on your limb to prove that they're wrong or prove that you're right. If you are a good person, everyone will see that eventually, because you'll see oh, that person's never burned bridges with me. This person never has. But it's okay not to always get along, but let's come together and stop ruining each other. It's toxic and it's pushing away a lot of really great people. And we want to bring this community together, and we will continue doing that. I'll keep doing it until my deathbed. But I love that.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. So shout out to Dab, shout out to Jay for the words there. And then the next thing we got here is, actually I think we missed, Dap did have another catch. It was, I didn't list it here. No, I didn't actually. But yeah, they did have another catch. It was Calvin. He came to meet a little kid, and in true Dap fashion,
Predators. And I bet you're freaking out right now.
You know what they do.
You're going to go home. You're probably going to YouTube Dads Against Predators. And you're going to see what we do. We do this all across the country. You're like catch 130 or some shit like that. You know? So we're pretty good at what we do.
Everybody's going to see this shit, so...
Everybody's going to see
Here's
it.
your chance to explain.
Your mom's going to see it.
Explain what?
Your family's going to see it.
Why? Why what?
Why were you even trying to meet a 13-year-old girl?
I wasn't.
Then what are you doing?
Someone said he looked like Post Malone. Like a scuffed Post Malone.
Yeah. When we talked about that damn near canceled episode, the two guys were saying they're not in this community at all. They said, I would be the predator catcher that would want to like literally beat them up or kill them or something. And so I think a lot of the people, that's why they love DAP, because they don't just nicely,
right.
interview them and then say they interview them, but they scare the hell out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
a different approach. Yeah,
that's what we all think the pred deserves, but we know that, maybe law enforcement won't take it as serious.
Exactly.
So there is a big kind of debate about that, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love DAP. I've been subscribed for years, and there was luckily no fighting in this.
100K coming soon. So go check that one out. And then the last one we have here, this is a premiere from PP Toronto. This is one that TCOY actually decoyed, and this is the Discord pred.
Oh.
So we
I have been listening to those calls for a minute, the Discord pred.
Right.
I'm excited for this. This is PP Toronto?
Yes.
TCOY has been killing it. And I was going to say in our community update, if you guys have not seen her a ton on YouTube, she is doing okay. I reached out to her a couple days. She had some dental work, and then she's kind of just been a little sick, but she is going to be back in her game soon, and we can't wait to see her when she is.
Yeah, so go turn your reminders on for this. That'll be in 12 hours. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but Matt is going to do a catch tonight, hopefully. And it's just him, and I think it's one that TCOY decoyed as well. Nice. So shout out to TCOY. She's always working.
She's incredible.
And then that brings us to the new channels. The first one we got here is New York Predator Exposed. They have 176 subscribers, and their camera work's really good.
Mm-hmm.
The editing was good. I think the whole thing was pretty good. I think.
And there's 3 guys, right?
Yeah.
And you guys, they're really, really cool. Do we have a video pulled up? I was watching them earlier, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think it's cool to have one in New York. I know we have New York Creep Spotlight, and I think we may have maybe another one. I'm trying to think. But New York is huge, and I imagine there's a lot of pedophiles.
We need
so
more
the more
than
the
one.
Better. Exactly.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe FM will collab with New York Predator Exposed. I like the name too, kind of switching it up.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see that with the next one too. I haven't seen this one. It's HOMOSAPIEN versus Predators.
Wow.
65 subs, and this was uploaded. His first catch was a week ago.
Okay.
So we like that. I didn't like that it was in vertical, but hey. First catch, I can't complain.
It'll be a learning curve.
So we got PvP now, and now we have HVP.
Okay. It sounds like HVP. It sounds like a internet software, like HP or HVP.
Right.
I don't know.
HP.
I'll remember that. HVP.
So go check HOMOSAPIEN versus Predators. And then the other one, which also is like a newer name, not like your standard creep catchers or whatever, Predator Exposure Club. This was posted 2 months ago. He has 112 subscribers, so we're gonna link his channel below as well.
I could see some really good merch like with that name.
I know.
Predator Exposure Club,
like some yacht club or something.
That's like the best merch I could think of.
Yeah. And then the last newer channel for us is Waitlist Inc. Hunting is Our Sport. This was actually listed on our all catchers list. It's just I haven't seen anything from them recently. There was a video as recent as 3 weeks, but yeah, go check them out. They have 3,800 subs.
Mm-hmm.
And that pretty much wraps it up. I did want to give a shout out to White Guy Wednesday.
Yes.
To Ray and Dream Floral, Nate.
This episode was actually really cool because so the guy in the middle on the top middle part, he's actually Dream Floral's teacher.
Yeah.
Which is like, he was his teacher in high school, which is just, that's really freaking cool. I think it's really awesome. I don't know if I could ever have the balls to have one of my teachers on here.
So yeah, Cedric in the middle here, he's Nate's teacher. And then you got Mises, who is a newer rapper. But either way, Ray was like, he saw us in the comments and he had them say this for us.
So Cedric, you go first.
All right. I'm Cedric from Cedric and Brian, and I support Predator News Now.
All right, Mises, you go.
Predator News Now it is?
Yeah.
All right. My name is Mises. I do not fuck with Nick Cannon, but I fuck with Predator News Now. You need to go click that shit right now.
That's what's up. And I'm Sweet Baby Ray 42. And White Guy Wednesday says, fuck Predator News Now. We don't fuck with y'all. Taking over the space, you heard?
All right, Ray.
So the moral of this week is if Cup and I can become friends with Dream Floral, I think anybody can become friends with anyone. Just remember, don't take life so serious. We all have our own battles in life, and let's support each other to work through them and not bring each other down.
Yeah, 100%.
So I hope you guys all have an incredible weekend. Let's get back at it next week. We'll see you Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And as always,
thank you, Predheads.
We love you.
Go check out Tommy's live.
Bye.
Peace.